welcome to Viewpoint on Ukraine today, where we are joined by Miss Anna Palenchuk, the producer of Mariupolis, a Ukrainian documentary which recently had its world premiere at the Berlinale International Film Festival. Anna, thank you very much for joining us.
Hello.
So, as I just said, you've recently returned from Berlin, where your film was premiered. First, we would like to talk a little bit about the film Mariupolis. I understand this is a documentary which was filmed in Ukraine's port city of Mariupol last year in 2015. Can you tell us a little bit about the film?
Yeah, of course. Mariupolis, it's a documentary film about a city, Mariupol. It's filmed by Mantas Kvidaravicius. It is a film director from Lithuania. It is his second film. First was about Chechnya war, and when Mantas came to Ukraine in spring to work on his next film, I helped him a little bit to organize shooting in Mariupol. Then he called me and tell that Mariupol is an amazing city, and we need to have a shooting there and make some film about all these events.
The film was recorded between the spring and the autumn of 2015. This was one of the times of the fiercest fighting in East Ukraine. So what was happening in Mariupol when you were filming?
Actually, of course, in one hand it was war, and on the other hand it was ordinary life with people who live in Mariupol and continue to live in every conditions they have. Actually, our protagonists are ordinary people who lives. For example, we have a young, really talented journalist. Okay. She goes to Shirokina to make some interviews or reportages, and in the end of our film, she found her love. And
So it's a love story.
Something like that.
Okay, well, that's nice.
We have really interesting people who continue their life when they heard some war sound.
Okay, so Anna, does the film focus on the war and the conflict, or does it focus on the lives of everyday people?
No, focus live people.
Mm-hmm. So there were some particular characters, and this is a documentary film, so these are everyday people of Mariupol.
Yeah.
And you focused on, how many characters did you choose?
A lot.
A lot, yes.
Yeah, we have a fisherman, we have a woman in orchestra with violin, we have a lot of people, and it's really interesting people.
Okay, so the film tells the story of how these people adapted and changed to the situation in their country?
Yes.
Okay, and how was that?
It was amazing because we met, as I told, the really interesting people who really was open to us.
And what I mean is, how did these people change throughout this process? They have seen so much happen in their hometown. How did you see people change over the 6 months that you were in the city?
Actually, it's not about changing, yes? It's about just continue life. Mm-hmm. For example, in our film, we have really close-up, and audience, after our screening in Berlinale, ask a lot of questions how we could make this close-up. Yes, and thanks God that our protagonist accept film that we film them, and in really close close-ups.
So the residents of Mariupol were happy to work with you. They were happy to be filmed and happy to be on camera.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about Berlinale. So we recently had the premiere of the film. How did people receive it? Who watched it? Did you have critics? Was there a big audience?
Actually, I need to add that our film, it's a co-production film between Ukraine, Lithuania, France and Germany. Okay. Actually, in our film, audience was, of course, international, because it was international premiere in International Film Festival, and most of people was, I think, German or European, and they ask particular questions about a film, about events which show in our film.
Okay, and were there some particular events which were very interesting for the audience?
It was 9th of May. It was a celebration of Victory Day. And we shot our film in Shirokino, in Sartana. It is a small Greek village between Shirokino and Mariupol, and in Mariupol. And in Sartana there is Dom Kultury. It's a house of culture with orchestra, with theater. It's all Greek.
Okay.
And we shot how they prepare for celebration Victory Day.
And people found this culture in Germany, they found this culture here in Ukraine very interesting.
Yes.
Okay. So what have critics said about the film Mariupolis?
We had a big article in Daily Screening. It is the most important magazine in the world who always publish about some films. And critic was really great, and I think we produced a really good film.
Okay, and the critics also believe you produced a very good film.
Yeah.
And that must be very encouraging.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, what is next? You've had your premiere in Berlinale. Do you hope this film to be shown elsewhere, outside of Ukraine, in Europe?
We expect that after Berlinale, a lot of film festival, which already we received from different festival letters that they would like to invite our film in competition or special screening, because it's a really important theme to show in different parts of our world about event in Ukraine. And it's not a reportage film, it's observation film. It's a film by author, yes, Mantas Kvedaravičius, and it is a point of view of author. That's why it's interesting film.
Okay, so what is his point of view throughout this movie?
I think that everybody can answer, has his own answer after screening, after watching our film.
Okay. So, Anna, if you could, one last question. Can you tell us why you think it is so important to tell the story about what is happening, not just in Ukraine, but in small cities dotted around the country, here in other places, like Berlinale Film Festival, for example?
Everybody knows that we live in a really hard time. We live between peace and war. And we don't know tomorrow we will have a peace or tomorrow we will have a war. Mariupolis now live between war and peace in the same time. That's why this film is so interesting, because you can reflect how life continue when in one hand peace or in another hand war.
And how is this your vision here to show this story accepted by your audience? Do they understand it when they are living in a city like Berlin? Do they understand what it's like to live in such a situation?
I hope that after watching our film, yes, they can realize how live during a war.
Okay. Anna, thank you very much for joining us. That is all we have time for. You have been watching Viewpoint on Ukraine Today, where we have been joined by Anna Palenchuk, the producer of Mariupolis, a Ukrainian documentary which recently had its world premiere at the Berlinale International Film Festival. Thank you for watching.